Hello, I'm Darren McDermott and you're watching Dukascopy TV for an economic update on China with Brian Sturgess from World Economics in London. So Brian, what percentage of sales managers believe the valuation is negatively affecting their business? And do you think the central bank could actually allow the yuan to return to appreciation in the third quarter, as a stabilising domestic economy will significantly reduce the need for a weaker currency?
The percentage was 19% who thought it was negatively affecting their business, whereas there's well over 70% who believe it's got no effect. So in other words, the valuation is about right for a lot of them. Plus, over the last couple of months, the percentage of sales managers thinking that the value is too high has been dropping. So that gives a feeling very much that from their perspective, the valuation is about right. So no real incentive for the central bank to move towards an upward valuation. Plus, the current account surplus has been going down, so there's no really need to let that happen. It's just really international pressure. The Americans saying that it's undervalued, but from the Chinese perspective, it's about right.
Brian, inflation eased to 2.3% in June. Now, do you expect consumer prices to remain relatively stable for the rest of the year?
Stable, and if anything, downward pressure. Again, our surveys are showing that prices are very, very few sales managers have increased their prices. And then you add the fact that monetary policy is already tight. There's a possibility to actually loosen it as inflation falls. So I can't really see any major inflationary pressures building up, quite the opposite.
Brian, staffing levels continue to rise. Panellists are still increasing payrolls as a result of strong company sales. So this is clearly a positive sign. So can you elaborate a little bit more on this?
It did increase, but by 0.2%, so it's actually a very, very small increase. Well over 50 to show that there's actually, 54 showing that they are increasing. But the rate of increase is not rising. That is a very, very small rise, which could be reversed next month. I wouldn't really. It's a positive sign, but it's a very tiny positive sign, if you see what I mean.
We also saw a 0.8% drop in business confidence among sales managers last month. Now, do you think we will see it pick up this month?
It could well. Again, it was a very small drop from a fairly high level of confidence. So you tend to find the month-by-month basis, a change of that size is not particularly significant. It's really when you start seeing a big change or several consecutive changes across several months that you really think everything's happening. So that could easily reverse back to increase.
And finally, Brian, just briefly looking at real estate in China, do you think a housing crash in China is imminent?
Housing deflation is imminent, pressure downwards on prices. It won't actually, I can't see a major crash because the Chinese authorities have all sorts of ways of certain monetary policy is tight, so they could quite easily loosen it to stimulate the market or to reduce the fall. The problem is there's lots of wealth in China which has nowhere to go but property and domestic property. The best way to ease things is to actually let Chinese invest more outside the country. And even the ones who do, they've created more of a bubble in Australian property. But I wouldn't say crash, but deflation, yes.
Brian, it was a pleasure speaking to you today. Thank you very much for your time. Well, viewers, do stay tuned. Do not go anywhere as we have plenty more just like this heading your way. Goodbye for now.